What a wonderful message to hear at the convention. Think about it just for a second. How can we do better merging our work and our play while negotiating cultural and generation divides? How do our own identities help or hinder our work in student affairs? Do we react too quickly before we can describe, prescribe, or proscribe? And when change comes around in our areas, how do we react to that? Important questions to consider. And again, thank you for that message, Kathy. Finally, I'm excited to introduce our closing speaker, Erik Qualman. And Erik is a professor of digital marketing at the Hult Institute of Business School's MBA program and the founder of Socialnomics.com, and also the author of Socialnomics, How Social Media Transforms the Way We Live and Do Business. It was a finalist in 2010 for Book of the Year. He's also regarded as one of the top 50 professors in the world and a top 100 digital influencer by Fast Company. Erik will help us understand how we can reinvent the ways we engage with our students and our communities. Please welcome Erik Qualman.
Hello. Well, now you know a little bit about me. I want to find out about you. How many of you, when you flew here, or if you last time you took a flight, how many of you guys like to speak to the person next to you? And how many of you hate that person? I fall somewhere in the middle there, but I was happening to talk to this nice guy, and after about 20 minutes, I go, what do you do for a living? He goes, well, I'm a musician. So he didn't realize for the next 10 minutes I was going to tell him, well, if you use social and mobile, this is how you can get your name out there. This is what Justin Bieber did. This is what Lady Gaga did. This is how you can sell a lot of records. Then after 10 minutes, this nice lady comes up and goes, can I have your autograph? And I'm super excited because no one recognizes an author on a plane. She didn't want my autograph. She wanted... Whoa, I've seen fire. Seen sunny... Yeah, I was that guy. 5-time Grammy Award-winning James Taylor. And I'm sitting there going, oh, okay, 3 more hours on this flight. And I'm going, what did I say? James, if only you social and mobile, maybe you could have some success out there today. But hopefully what I talk about here today is really relevant for what you do with the students and also for your own personal life. And I'm going to cover 3 things over these 18 minutes. Really why I get so excited about mobile and social is not because I'm a tech geek, it's because I'm about relationships. These tools are really more relationship tools, they're not technology tools. The second thing is a lot of us think we have to be perfect when we go out there in the digital world, and it's really not the case. It's the exact opposite. It's about failing fast, failing forward, failing better. We're not going to get it right the first time. The key is to adjust, so it's all about failing fast, failing forward, and failing better. And then the last concept, which I think is the most important concept, is that in today's world, we're all leaving a digital stamp. Now, our digital stamp's comprised of 2 things. It's comprised of a digital footprint, and a lot of us have heard that term. Digital footprint's anything that we upload about ourselves. So it might be an email, it might be a text, it might be a tweet, it might be an Instagram. That we have somewhat control over. But it's really the second piece of your digital stamp that's the most important. That's your digital shadow. Your digital shadow is what others post about you online. And it might be your online behavior, or it might be your offline behavior. Because some of us might say, I'm just not going to get on these tools. I don't want a digital stamp. But you're going to have a digital stamp. Research shows that 92% of all children in the United States under the age of 2 already have a digital stamp. 25% of kids that haven't been born yet already have a digital stamp. That's because of sonograms, people posting names about their kids before they're born. And what I want to leave you here with today is that even though privacy is dead, that there's 2 sides of your digital stamp. There's the production piece, that's the positive piece. Then there's the protection piece to make sure you protect your digital stamp as much as you can. So produce and protect. So your homework, before I get into this presentation, is for you to start thinking, if you want to break Twitter, you can do it right now. I want you to send out or write down in 140 characters or less, what do you want your digital stamp to be? What do you want it to be 5 seconds from now, 5 days, 5 years, 50 years, 500 years from today? Who do you want to inspire? So start to think about that, and you can start doing it today. Send it out right now. But then spend about 7 to 10 days to really think about that. What do you want to find when someone Googles your name? Then take that home and also apply it to your students. That's an exercise that all of them should be doing as well. Figuring out what they want their digital stamp to be and have it right in front of them so they know over the course of their life that they can reach and strive for that. And over time it might change a little bit, but they always have that as kind of a moral and also digital compass. But before we get into these 3 things, I want to show a quick video that shows exactly where we are in this digital age from a mobile and social perspective. And this is the first time we're actually showing this video. We wanted to show it here to release it, so this is the first time this is in the public domain. It won't be public for another 10 days because we're going for a Guinness Book of World Record, but this is where we are in terms of digital. And so essentially, we don't really have a choice on whether we do digital. The choice is on how well we do it. Now that word of mouth is on digital steroids. And if we don't do it well, then we can look like this gentleman in this video, and this can happen to your tablet.
Sag mal, Papa, habe ich dich noch gar nicht gefragt. Wie kommst du denn eigentlich mit dem neuen iPad zurecht, was wir dir zum Geburtstag geschenkt haben?
Gut.
Mit den ganzen Apps kommst du klar?
Was denn für Apps? Geh mal bitte einen Schritt zur Seite. So. Was denn?
So hopefully that doesn't happen to you. If it does, just put it in a bed of dry rice. That usually solves the situation. But the good news is that digital leaders are made. They're not born. So all of us can become digital leaders. When I went to college, they didn't have email. They didn't have mobile phones. So I'm not a digital native. But you can make yourself into a digital leader. That's what Howard Schultz has done at Starbucks. And they've transformed that company into being a digital company that, oh, by the way, they happen to sell coffee. But what we tried to tackle with the book, What Happens in Vegas Stays on YouTube, is really there's 36 rules of reputation in this new world. And why 36? It's the roulette table has 36 numbers on it. And so you're really playing Russian roulette with your reputation if you don't understand the new world in which we live in. But before we get into that, I also want to remind people this does not replace face-to-face. A lot of us think it's always black and white. It's if or then or that. And it's really, it's an and, not an or. And so as we look at this, this stuff cannot replace face-to-face. These tools are designed to augment it when time and distance are an issue. And it's very powerful, and we can have a huge impact using these different tools out there. But I want to stress, and I'll say it a ton, this does not replace face-to-face. It just augments it out there. And I know that some of you guys might have some students or relatives that look like this guy in this video.
On that driveway, down Mayfield, and now he's on Briggs, and now it looks like he's turning into another driveway here. We're going to kind of maneuver around and see if we can get another shot of him. But yeah, he would definitely.
Right there.
Man. Someone, right.
So we don't want to be head down in that technology. And some of you guys are like, where can I rent that bear? I got to use that bear just for one day, just to have my kids look up at me from their technology. But as we look at this, the key is, in this world, it used to be historically you had integrity and reputation. All of us had an integrity and reputation. Integrity is what you stood for behind closed doors. That's kind of how Abraham Lincoln uses the term roots, like the roots of a tree. Whereas your reputation was what others perceived you to be. And those could be different. Not anymore. With a fully transparent world, reputation and integrity become the same thing. And that can be really powerful for all of us in this room if we use it to the greatest extent that we can with all these tools, just like this Arizona State student athlete has done.
Anthony Robles has shown us that impossible is nothing. Anthony Robles is a national champion. From the time he threw away his prosthetic at 3 to now, Anthony Robles, a national champion, is standing by with Quint Kesnick.
Anthony, what was it like for you to come out of the tunnel tonight and step up here on this podium?
I was real nervous, you know. It's like a dream come true. I've literally dreamt about this a dozen times, you know. And I just thank God he gave me the opportunity. I'm a national champion now.
Now, because of these tools, Anthony's able to use Facebook and Twitter and YouTube to really tell his story and inspire so many more than he ever could before. And we go back to remind him that he says that he's envisioned it 1,000 times in his mind, and you know that he worked on the mat 1,000 times and probably to get it right, that he understood that failure was part of the process. As we look at failing fast, failing forward, failing better, if we look at the Red Cross organization, in 2006, they had a difficult time responding offline and also digitally to what was happening with Hurricane Katrina. Because digitally, they only allowed 5 people to post on behalf of the Red Cross. And what they realized was it was very unfamiliar territory, but they needed to allow everyone in the organization to be able to post on behalf of the Red Cross. And so they decided to do that. And of course, what immediately happens? A young lady there thinks she's posted into her personal account, but instead she hits the wrong button and posts to the entire world this tweet from the American Red Cross. Ryan found 2 more 4-bottle packs of Dogfish Head's Midas Touch beer. When we drink, we do it right. Hashtag getting slizzard. So their worst nightmare comes to fruition. But since everyone has the opportunity to post on behalf of the Red Cross, within 4 minutes, someone else posts, "We've deleted the rogue tweet, but rest assured the Red Cross is sober, and we've confiscated the keys." And what that is, and just real quick, is that the young lady wasn't fired because the donations went dramatically up the week that happened. New York Times, Huffington Post, Mashable, they all thought it was fantastic. They pick it up. Also, the beer company, they decided to get in the act and say, hey, instead of drinking a pint of our beer this week, why don't you donate a pint of blood or donate some money to the Red Cross? So donations go through the roof. And what that is, taking liberty with the English language, you might have heard this term, it's all about being Flawsome. So if you take nothing away, when you make a mistake next week, you can just say, I'm being Flawsome. And if your president doesn't like it, my email address is equalman@equalman. Just have him send me a note. But it's really about caring enough as individuals or as organizations to try to fix a mistake that we make. We're all human beings. We just need to fix those mistakes. And as you look at FedEx, when they have an issue with a client and they resolve that issue, that client's 3 times more likely to repeat as a customer than someone that never had an issue in the first place. And we're going to try to be Flawsome here this afternoon. A box of our books, the U.S. Mail decided to run over them instead of to drive them here. And so at the book signing, we're going to give those out for the first 30 people that come and get the books. And so that's what we're trying to attempt to do as well. But try to be more Flawsome in everything that you do in life. The other thing, the reason I love being here, yesterday was great just talking with a lot of you this morning because I can tell there's a lot of bakers in here. And so it's really about being a baker, not an eater. So a baker understands that if someone eats a slice of pie, that's okay, they can make more. An eater sees someone eat a slice of pie and they think there's less for me. So in your life, both offline and in the digital world, it's all about being a baker, not an eater. And speaking of food, how many of you buy Wheat Thins online or crackers online? Yeah, sometimes there's a nerd in the room that buys crackers online, but I mean that in a good way. But yeah, we don't buy crackers online, we still go to the store. So it would have been easy for Wheat Thins to say, this isn't for us, this is for Nike, this is for Ford. Or for people outside of this room, for them to say, that's not for us. You know, we're in higher education, this isn't for us. Not the people in this room. And as we look at this, if we look at Wheat Thins, they go, why don't we go out and listen, see if anyone's talking about crackers online? Turns out a lot of people talk about crackers online. And one young lady posts, I'm out of Wheat Thins. My life is officially over. And we're all sitting there going, man, I wish I had her life. Sounds pretty easy. But Wheat Thins, they decide to do something about it.
This one's hilarious. I'm out of Wheat Thins. My life is officially over. Kind of dramatic. Tabitha.
Yes.
Okay, do you recall tweeting, I'm out of Wheat Thins. My life is officially over.
Yeah.
We got a hold of that. We just want you to be sure that you're aware that we have plenty of Wheat Thins. And that's for you. That's just a gift.
That is a lot of Wheat Thins. Oh my gosh.
Everybody in the van, let's go. In the truck. Take care, all right? Come on, boys. Who's next?
So again, these tools, the Wheat Thins is a great example to how can you surprise and delight someone? How can you surprise and delight your students? It could have been easy for Wheat Thins to fold their arms and say, that's for Nike, that's for the Fords, not for us, but instead they go out and they're surprising and delighting. And that's what it's all about. These are about relationship tools. It's about failing fast, failing forward, failing better. It's being about Flawsome. And then last but not least, a reminder, all of us have a digital stamp. Please go out and try to figure out, in 140 characters or less, what do you want your stamp to be? It used to be that Stephen Covey, in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he said, what do you want people to say at your funeral? We don't have to wait for a funeral. Plus, we wouldn't be able to hear them anyways. Is what do we want? You can go to Google today and figure out what's out there about you today. How do you use that to lift people up? How do you use that digital legacy to get out there today to impact your students today, tomorrow, 5 years, 50 years, 500 years from today? And I want to conclude here just quickly with a quick little poem about all of us and our digital stamps on life. And I'll just leave us all with one thought, is that our greatest accomplishment in life might not be something that we did, but it might be a life that we saved, or it might be that someone that we raised. And so I just want to thank you for the time today. I'm going to be out in the hallway to answer questions, but I just want to thank you. It's been an honor to be here, so thank you so much. Thank you.